Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Hope everyone is doing great. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today I have another story time for you. I'm basically doing this because it's just easier for me to do. I'll get back, I think, more into like more detailed content when I have a bit more time, but for now you guys will have to indulge me because I'll be doing a lot of story times. But before we get into this story time, I think we need to address the elephant in the room. It's fairly obvious. If you watched the video before this one, I'm sure you noticed that there was some skin issues going on. So for the past, I think 3 weeks, for the past 3 weeks, I've been breaking out like crazy, and I don't know why. What the problem is, I don't know. Just yesterday afternoon, this guy right there appeared huge. I don't know what to do about it. These past few months I've been using benzoyl peroxide and it has been working so well. I've had no issues, no complaints, no breakouts, but all of a sudden I don't know what happened. I don't know. Can you develop a resistance to benzoyl peroxide? And previously I was using the gel, but now I'm using the cream, and the cream is so painful when you apply it. So I don't know whether that has anything to do with the effectiveness, but it's been working very badly lately. It's not been working at all. I've been having breakouts almost every day and my skin is a disaster. I've had to apply several layers of concealer and foundation in order for me to even come and appear before you all. It's kind of a disaster. I'm kind of sad about the whole thing, but what can we do? It's life. So in order to distract you from the obvious skin issues going on, I'm putting on these glasses. Fun fact, these glasses, I bought them 2 years ago. I basically think glasses make people look intelligent, so I used to wear them all the time until my daughter got a hold of them and broke them. She accidentally, but on purpose, I don't know, she managed to break one of the glasses. These are not spectacles or anything. They were like beauty glasses, clear frame. So when she broke the one glass, I just decided to remove the other one and wear them like this for making videos. That way there's no glare into the camera. You don't see the ring light and what. So there. These glasses are to distract you from the mess that's going on. Anyway, today I'm going to do a story time about the time I failed my very first assignment at university. If you've been to university, you know the feeling. So stick around and I'm going to tell you all about what happened. So when I'll give you my academic background if anyone cares. So when I started school, grade 1, I never went to nursery. I went straight to grade 1 when I was 5. And I was doing really well. I always came out first. Worst case scenario, third or fourth, but it was always first, second, like that. So I was quite smart at school. And then I had this really good friend. Her name was Memory. In grade 6, Memory decided that she was going to attempt to write grade 7 exams in grade 6. So I didn't want to be left out. My best friend was writing an exam. I didn't want to remain behind. So I begged my parents to let me write the exams in grade 6 as well. So I would not recommend this. I always say, I preach this to whoever will listen. Don't make your children skip grades. There's a reason why the content for each grade is the way it is, and there's a reason they say we start school at a certain age. Our brains cannot comprehend even the social aspect of high school, of secondary school is very challenging to an undeveloped mind. So miraculously I wrote the exam and passed. Miraculously. Hi. Hi. Yes, what can I do for you? Hi. So I'm back. I got a visit from my children, and that visit took longer than I expected because mainly they refused to let me do anything by myself. I must always have an audience all the time. So I finally managed to coax them away. So they're gone, but I don't know how long for, so I have to be really quick in this story time. So So you may have noticed the background has changed a little bit. That's because when the children came and disturbed me, I decided to look back at the footage that I had just shot and realized that I had a black spot showing right there. So I had to go and fix that, obviously. And while I was at it, I decided, why not bring my plant? There's my plant. Decided just to change things to my usual background. I was feeling a little lazy, so anyway, that's why that is looking like that. So I was talking about how I wrote my grade 7 exam in grade 6 because I didn't want to be left behind, because my best friend at the time had decided to write her grade 7 exams in grade 6. So miraculously, I passed those exams and managed to go to secondary school. So while at secondary school, unfortunately, things took a turn. I was too young when I went to secondary school, and the environment was just not conducive for my learning. So I ended up not doing very well at school. I wasn't like in the bottom, but I wasn't in the top or the middle. I was just like barely hanging on, like barely passing and things. But again, miraculously in grade 7 and grade 9, I passed to grade 10. And I continued struggling through school, when I wrote my grade 12 exam, I didn't do very well. I failed a few subjects, so I had to rewrite those subjects in order to be able to apply to go to university. So I rewrote those courses and improved my results, and that's how I applied to go to the University of Zambia. So with that background, you can already see that I'm kind of coming from a slight disadvantage mentally, because already I'm feeling insecure and inadequate because I've had to rewrite my exams. I'm feeling self-conscious and inferior to all my other colleagues who hadn't had to rewrite any subject. So bearing this in mind, the year was 2007. I applied for the University of Zambia in 2006, and in 2007 I was accepted to go and do a bachelor's degree in adult education. Well, technically, at the time, the adult education courses were structured in such a way that you'd have to do a certificate first, and then a diploma, and then finally a degree. But the year I joined is the year that system was actually being phased out. So my intake was the last one that did that phased approach to adult education. So yeah, so 2007 I go to university. I'm feeling out of place. I'm afraid, I'm doubting myself. I'm thinking, can I really do this? The people who come here have such great grades, they don't have to write, they just, So already I'm speaking doom into myself as it is. So when I went to university, I met my friend, or my best friend. Her name is Nadine. I'm sure she's going to be popping up in a lot of these story times, because we've gotten into quite a bit of mischief together. She won't mind my saying that. Or she better not. No. Anyway. Yeah. So I met my friend. We got along. We get along because we like to laugh. We find humor in everything. We can laugh at whatever. We laugh at ourselves. We laugh at dumb things. We just think everything is hilarious. As a matter of fact, one of our lecturers used to call us the laughing girls. The laughing girls, and other lecturers would try to separate us, because apparently if we sat together we made too much noise. I don't know. I think they were just being too harsh. It wasn't necessarily noise. We just like to consult as we learn, Some people just don't understand that. So yeah, so the laughing girls struck. So first semester, one of the courses we're doing was introduction to research. I believe it was. I think it was that. No, it was an introductory university course. The one where they teach you how to cite your sources and APA citation and Harvard and like all that stuff. And in this course, we were required to write our assignments by hand. Weird. I didn't understand it. I've never been a fan of handwriting everything, but what can you do? That's what they told us to do. That's what we did. So, first assignment, don't remember what it was about. I think it was about Yeah, it was something about APS citation, something or other. We had to do research on that and write a paper. So if you can hear some noise, that's my daughter in the kitchen screaming. Yeah, so anyway, my friend and I, well, all of us, the whole class, we submitted our assignments and we eagerly waited for the results. So remember, I'm very, I'm feeling very inferior at this time. I'm feeling like I don't belong there, like an imposter. Feeling like a fake, like I'm going to be discovered at any time. Like these are all just psychological things that are going on in my mind, even though the reality is, in reality, that's not the truth, but that's just what I was telling myself. Because as human beings, we tend to be so critical of ourselves, and we are so harsh to ourselves as well. So that's what was going on in my mind at that time. So anyway, results come out. What do you know? I get 40%. So now my self-doubt, my inferiority complex, my just all these negative things that I've been saying to myself are manifesting now physically in this bad grade. The very first assignment I wrote and I did so poorly, I got 40%. So my best friend got her results. What did we see? 40%. Both of us failed both 40%. Now the interesting thing is, Nadine and I are really close and like we hang out all the time. But when it comes to school, like we're very serious about it. We don't copy from each other. We don't basically like sponge off each other. Like we use our own individual academic strengths. So there was no copying or anything. We just both sucked, I guess. So what do we do? So the lecturer says, oh, all those who failed your exams, come to my office at 14 to do a makeup assignment. So I think this was around 11. We walked down the School of Education steps. If you've been to the University of Zambia, you can visualize this. We walked down the steps to the lobby, in front of the elevator, feeling defeated. Meanwhile, some people were, this one guy, I'll never forget him. Oh, so rude. I think he says, oh, I'm so disappointed. I only have 95%. I was hoping for 100. Oh, bearing in mind, we were basically mourning our academic careers because in our minds, that was it. We were done. We were not going to go anywhere because we were failures. That's like how we were thinking of ourselves. So there we are walking down to Mature Square. If you've been to Unza, you know what I'm talking about. You know where this is. I think we didn't stick around at Unza, at Mature Square because there were too many people, too many of our classmates. There was too much talking, and we were just getting more depressed. So we decided to walk to the Goma Lakes. The school of the University of Zambia has some couple of man-made ponds which they call lakes. So the scenery is really nice. You can go there, you can see the fish. So we were so depressed. We were sitting there looking at each other, thinking how we had failed our families and ourselves, our future children, how we were losers. Oh, in hindsight, it's so funny, but at the time it was so depressing. So, for some strange reason, Nadine accidentally dialed her mom, and we were literally both like crying, we were sad, we were saying, oh, we're such losers, what are we going to do? So her mom like accidentally overheard that, so she was so concerned, like, what is happening? Why are they crying? When we found this out later, because we didn't realize that she'd accidentally dialed, and then I called my brother, and we were telling him, oh, we're losers, we're gonna get kicked out, we got 40%, we're failures, blah blah. My brother was kind of like laughing. He kept saying, no, calm down, 40% is not bad, not the end of the world. He actually came over while we were sitting at the Goma Lakes and brought us some Fanta. And then we stopped crying because he brought us Fanta. But still, after the Fanta was finished, we were back to being sad and depressed. So we trudged our way back to the lecturer's office, and there was a queue of people. Apparently, most of us didn't do very well. There were many losers in that assignment, apparently. So, yeah. We went to the office. We were waiting in line. That was back in the day before Corona, where you could actually stand close to people. Oh my God, I miss those days. I miss seeing people's faces. Oh, I miss seeing smiles. Sheesh, this whole weird world we're living in. Masks. Anyway, we were queued up waiting to go in to see him. So Nadine and I went in at the same time because I mean we do everything together, so of course. So we went in and we were crying. We were saying, "Oh, we want to make up assignment. We don't want to fail. We're just so sad. Oh, we're so disappointed in ourselves. We did our best, but our best is not good enough." Oh, and our lecturer just burst out laughing. And he says, "No, I will not give you a makeup assignment." And we're like, "Please, sir, please, we're begging you. Give us a makeup assignment. We promise we'll do better this time." And he said, "No, I'm not giving you a makeup test or a makeup assignment. None of that." And no, now our lives were flashing before our eyes. Our academic careers had ended before they even began. We were going to go back home disgraced and in shame. That's what we're thinking. So we continue begging him, "Please, sir, we beg you, let us write a makeup." Oh, looking back now, it's like we can laugh, but honestly, at the time, oh my goodness, so at the time it was not easy. So finally, he puts us out of our misery and he says, "Girls, even if I give you a makeup assignment or a makeup test, you will not be able to get more than 40% because a makeup test is only graded up to 40%. So since you've already got 40%, it wouldn't make sense for you to do a makeup test. 40% is a passing grade. It's a C. C minus is a bad grade, but it's a passing grade. So there's no point in me giving you an assignment when you get the same grade. Even if you got 100% of it, you only get 40%. So we still didn't understand. So it took a while for him to finally convince us, and we understood what he meant. So we walked out of there in still feeling ashamed and disgraced of ourselves, and we both decided that we were not going to tell our parents about it. They would never hear about this 40% nonsense on the first assignment. So we crumpled up our assignments and hid them in our bags to be burnt at a later date. But that kind of fueled our fire. It made sure that we were never complacent. We always did our best, and in the end it paid off. So the next assignment we were given, I ended up scoring 98%. I think Nadine got a similar grade as well. And from then on, our grades were pretty good. We're not A+ students all the time, but we made it. And my dad always says the people who succeed in life are those people that just do the average best, just do your best. So yeah, that was the time. We cried so hard. We were so depressed because we got a 40% grade on our first assignment at university. I hope you enjoyed this story time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm enjoying making these videos, and I'm going to be more consistent, and I'm going to continue improving the quality. I hope you've noticed an improvement in the quality of videos and audio as well. Yeah, I'm hoping to see you in the next video.